Hello and welcome back to MoneySense Mondays. The session for the next 30 minutes is for young people between the ages of 5 and 8, and we will be exploring how money can affect our feelings. My name is Siobhan and I'm Community Banker here at Ulster Bank, and I'm really excited to be welcoming you all back for another fun-filled lesson. And just a reminder for those of you who are watching live at home, if you could leave us a comment with your name or the school that you attend, we'll try to give as many shout outs as possible. So I'd like to give a shout out to Mrs McGuckin, who teaches P3 and P4 in St Peter's Primary School in Moortown, for I know that she's been watching in every week and sharing the lesson plans with all her class. So thank you, Mrs McGuckin. Money is something that can cause us to experience lots of feelings and can impact the way we feel. So think about a time when you've received money as a gift or as a reward for something. Did it make you feel good or bad? For most people, it makes them feel happy, excited and joyful, thinking about all the things that they can do with that money. However, sometimes our feelings can be different to what we thought they may be. For example, some people might actually feel better giving money rather than receiving it.
That's great. Yes, thanks, Siobhan. Hello, everyone. My name is Bruno Reid and I'm a primary school teacher, and I'm delighted to be joining you today for the MoneySense Mondays. My job today is to help you work through some fun activities to give you a greater understanding of money. So make sure you all comment who's with us today, as Siobhan said, and we'll give a shout out. And hello to Alana, who's joined us. She's age 7. And we're delighted to be joined today we've got new families today. We've got the Mackey family and the Dixon family. So hopefully we'll be able to go over to them now to say hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
We're good.
Do you want to say hello to anybody?
Who would you like to say hello to, Grace?
My teacher and my friends at Untitled Chapter.
Very good, that's great, great. And we've got the Dixon family as well.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
We're good, thank you.
That's great.
Say where you're from. Where's your school?
Downpatrick.
Downpatrick.
That's great. And we have Abby, age 8 from Downpatrick Primary School as well, who's on watching. She says to say hello to all your friends. Okay, so we'll be coming over to you very soon, so well, to get started in our wee activities. Very good. Okay, so during the session today, you're going to need some pens and papers, so make sure you have all of that ready. And we have Evelyn and Padraig, Godis and Treza Lejeune, who have joined us as well, so it's great. So we're going to start by thinking today about what are emotions. Okay, so what are emotions? So that's quite a tricky question, I know. So an emotion is a feeling which can be caused by the situation that you're in or the people who you are with. So now what we want you to try to do is make a list on paper, or you can write them down in the comment section. We'll read them out, of as many different emotions as you can think of. So you can leave your answer in the comment section if you're watching live. You can use the wee emoji buttons as well if you wanted to, or you can write in. So we're looking, what are emotions and what are the different emotions that you can think of? Okay, so I can see Josh has joined us. He says hello. Joanna is back with us as well, so that's great. Okay, so let's go to the Mackey family first of all to tell us about all the different emotions they can think of.
So Grace, what emotions did you think of?
Happy, sad, annoyed, frustrated.
Very good, that's great. Great emotions there. Good girl. And let's check with the Dixon family to see what they say.
Jealous, happy,
Sad. Nervous.
nervous.
Nervous. I hope you're not feeling too nervous now today, are you? Very good. Shy, very good. And we have some answers coming in. Karis is saying happy. Karen, we have lots of different emoji faces, all different types of happy and sad and angry and frustrated. So yes, we've got lots of different examples of emotions that we can think of. So some examples are happy and sad, excited. Some of them that you've already answered. There's Karen is saying angry, happy, sad and frustrated. So you've got grateful, anxious, unhappy, playful, thankful, tired, guilty. So there's Richard Karras is saying exhausted and enthusiastic. So some of them you can see are on the screen now. Okay, so now let's hear from Siobhan to tell us more about how money affects the way that we feel.
Well, Bronagh, banks are there to help people worry less about money, as they have specially trained staff who can talk you through and understand your financial situation and talk you through the best options to suit your needs.
Very good. That's great. Now we're going to move on and we're going to look at Alex and Sam, who are two people who attend a birthday party. Okay, so what we want you to do is we want you to listen to the story carefully, which you can see is on the slide, and try to decide some of the feelings that they're going to be feeling. So the story goes like this. So Alex and Sam are playing Pass the Parcel with 10 friends at a birthday party. The music stops when Alex is holding the parcel. So he tears off the wrapping paper. I'm sure he's very excited doing that to discover nothing but a note that says, try again. So the music starts up again and they continue playing their Pass the Parcel, and this time stops in Sam, who opens the next layer of paper to discover a shiny 20p pence. So what we want you to think about is, how would Alex feel? And how would Sam feel as well? So remember, Alex is the one who opened up and got nothing, and Sam is the one who opened up and got the 20p. So we want you to tell us different emotions that you think Alex and Sam would feel. So if you write them in the comment section, and again, while you do that, we will go over to the Mackey family first, who can tell us how they think Alex and Sam would feel.
Okay, so what did you think Alex would feel, Grace?
Alex would feel disappointed and annoyed, and I think Sam would feel delighted, but he might feel bad for Alex.
Oh, very good. That's very well explained. Good girl. And let's check with the Dixon family.
We think Alex feels a bit jealous that I didn't get anything.
And Sam will feel guilty that Alex didn't get any.
Very good, very good. So there's lots of different emotions there that you think Alex and Sam are feeling. So we have Abby says sad, disappointed, unhappy, but happiness for Sam. And Karen is saying Alex would feel jealous and Sam would feel happy. So that's correct. Josh says that he would feel disappointed. Josh, you should be a real pro at this now, shouldn't you? So hello to you and to your dad, Keith, as well. And thanks for joining us today. So Cara says Alex would feel annoyed and sad and Sam would be happy. So that's great. So Siobhan, do you want to tell us if they're right or not?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. And people can feel different types of emotions. So Alex might feel embarrassed to have lost, or as they said, he might feel jealous or disappointed or sad, or he might even feel motivated or determined to try again. Whereas Sam might also feel embarrassed or guilty to have won. He might feel grateful or thankful and happy, excited, joyful. So lots of different emotions.
That's right. And there's another one coming in now. Alex feels sad and frustrated and Sam is happy. So that's great. Now, what we want you to think about now. So Pass the Parcel keeps going. So the party guests continue playing the game of Pass the Parcel and the music stops again on Sam, who wins another 20p. Isn't he lucky? But this time, however, Sam decides to give the money to Alex. So why do you think Sam might have done this? Okay, so if you put in the comments, why do you think Sam might have given the 20p to Alex? Okay, so we'll go over to our families first and ask them. So we'll go to the Mackey family first again.
So Grace, why do you think Sam might have done that?
Because he felt bad with Alex, so he shared the money.
Very good, that's great. Yep, good. And let's check with the Dixon family.
He's been very generous and knew that Alex would get nothing again. So he gave him the other 20p piece.
Oh, very good. Very well explained there. Good boy. That's great. And there's Karen saying he felt sorry for him. So that's great. Okay, Siobhan, so what do you think?
Well, it might make Sam happy to see someone else be happy, or he may have wanted to be kind or generous and he didn't want Alex to be upset. So well done, everyone, for your answers.
That's great. Yeah, and there's Abby says he might have done this to be fair and Alex would get better. Cara says Sam might have given the 20p to Alex as Sam would have felt guilty. And Joanna's saying Sam feels bad because Alex has nothing. So that was a very nice thing to do, wasn't it? And I'm sure it changed his emotions in a lot of ways. So moving on to our next activity. So sometimes people spend more money than they have. And then they end up owing someone else money. So this is known as debt, and this can affect the way that people feel. So what do you think someone might feel like if they are in debt? Okay, so how do you think their emotions, how a person would feel if they are in debt? So we want you to add your comments in for that question. So how do you think a person would feel if they are in debt? Okay, so let's go to the Mackey family first and see what they think.
So Grace, how do you think somebody would feel if they were in debt?
Sad, but then they might feel grateful that someone has let them borrow some of their money.
Yeah, very good, good. Okay, and let's check with the Dixon family.
under pressure paying more money back to for the debt.
That's good.
Yeah. It would be sad. Okay.
Very good, good. And there's some answers coming in. Yes, they would feel annoyed, wouldn't they? And different types of emotions like that. Okay, so Siobhan, do you want to tell us some of the emotions?
Yeah, so perhaps maybe they feel scared that they might not be able to pay the money back, or sad that they are in debt, or guilty that they've maybe spent more money than they should have, or perhaps they're upset that they don't have enough money to spend on essential items such as food and bills, or they could maybe feel worried that it might take a long time to pay the debt back.
Yeah, that's great. And there's some other answers coming in there. We have Abby says guilty, angry that they can't buy what they want. They would feel sad. And Joanna's saying sad, frustrated and annoyed. So that's great. Yeah. Okay. So the way we think about money can impact the way that we feel. So sometimes thinking differently about a situation can help us to feel a wee bit better. So we want you to think now about Mr. Jones, who's in debt. Okay, so Mr. Jones is in debt, and we're going to put 5 sentences on the screen, which you can see, and decide which ones would be a good way or a bad way for Mr. Jones to think about his situation. Okay, so we have 5 sentences. So we want you to think of which ones would be a good way to think about the situation and which ones to think about the bad things about the situation. So you can see number 1, I have learned from this experience. So we want you to think, is that a good or a bad way to think? I am silly for owing someone money. I have a plan to pay back all the money I owe. I hate that other people have more money than me, or I now have the skills to keep track of my money in the future. So if you want to put the numbers in the comment section for the good ones and then the numbers in the bad one, we'll be able to see if you are correct or not. Okay, so let's go to the Mackey family first and see what they think are the good ones and the bad ones.
So Grace, which ones did you think were good?
1, 3 and 5, and you can plan to save money to pay back, and then you can give it back a little bit at a time.
So then the bad ones were 2 and 4, yeah?
Yeah.
Good girl, well done. Okay, and let's check with our other family now and see.
What do you think, Isaac? Did you get the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the same.
Very good. So hopefully we're all along the right lines then. So Cara says number 1 is a good one. Yep. Okay, great. So Siobhan, do you want to take us through then and see?
Yes, so 1, 3 and 5 are all good, and 2 and 4 are not good. So learning about money, such as how to save and keep money safe, as you've done over the past few weeks, as well as what makes you feel good or bad about money, will hopefully help you feel confident about managing money in the future.
That's great, yes, and everyone was able to work out that all the good ones are correct. So we have, Abby says 1 is good, 2 bad, 3 good, 4 bad and 5 good, and Karen is able to say 1 and 3 and 5 were the good ones as well. So that's great. So now we're going to move on and we're going to try a little quiz to see what you've learned today. Okay, so the questions will come up on the screen, and what we want you to do is we want you to put your comments in and we'll be able to read them out whenever they come through. Okay, so question number 1. What is an emotion? Okay, so we want you to answer that question in the comment section if you're watching live. What is an emotion? And whenever you do that, let's go to the Mackey family and let's hear their answer.
Okay, Grace, so what do you think an emotion is?
I think an emotion is something that you're feeling.
Okay.
Good girl. So, and with lots of different emotions, can you name a couple of emotions, Grace?
Happy, sad, annoyed, frustrated.
Good girl.
Nervous.
Very good. That's great. Good girl. Lovely. And we can see some answers coming in there. Karen saying it's a feeling. Abby, it's a feeling that's important. Yeah. So an emotion is a feeling. Siobhan, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Well done.
Very good. And that's now question number 2. Okay. So how might people feel when they give money? How might people feel when they give money? Okay. So question number 2, if you add that into the comment section. So how might people feel when they give money? And let's go to the Dixon family for this question.
Depends how much the money it is. If it's like half of their money, they feel okay and stuff. But if it was like most of their money, they'd feel sad because they have not really that much left.
But maybe they would feel generous if they were helping
Yeah.
somebody that maybe doesn't have as much as them as well. Yeah.
Very good, very good. That's great. Yes, yes, we can see other answers coming in, good and happy. And Abby is saying for question number 2, feels happy. So I'll let Siobhan just check that.
Yes, all correct again. Well done.
Very good. So lots of different types of emotions like happy, isn't there? Like, so lots of different types of them. So great. So question number 3, what is debt? Okay, question number 3, what is debt? Okay, if you remember, we did talk about debt and the emotions that you feel whenever you're in debt. So while you're putting the answers in for that in the comments, let's check with the Mackey family. What is debt?
Grace, what do you think that is?
It's where you spend too much money and then you owe someone else money.
That's great. It's very well explained. Good girl. Yeah. Okay. And I can see some of the answers coming through where you owe somebody money when you haven't got enough money to pay for something, you have to pay it back. So great. Yes. Siobhan, anything else to add about debt?
Yeah, so debt is just whenever we borrow money from someone or somewhere. So well done, great answers.
Very good, that's great. Yeah, Karen saying whenever you owe someone money, so that's great. And Abby says when you owe somebody else money and you have to pay them back, so that's great. Question number 4, okay, how might a person feel if they are in debt? So how might a person feel if they are in debt? Okay, so if you add your comment for that question, how might a person feel if they are in debt? And let's go to the Dixon family.
They could be sad or happy or guilty or
Or we can pay it back.
yeah.
Very good. Great. Yeah. We can see all those answers coming through as well. So that's great. Everyone's listening well, aren't they? So Abby says sad and angry at the same time. So yeah. Anything else, Siobhan?
Yeah, no, I think everybody's right. Sometimes people feel sad or guilty or hopeful that they maybe pay it back, and other people feel relieved now because they have been able to get some help to pay back money that they might owe elsewhere. So great answers again.
Yeah, very good. And we have Karen Bad. Murray Carr says that was number 2. How might people feel? They would feel generous. What is debt? You have spent too much money. How might a person feel if they're in debt? They might feel sad or annoyed. And Joanna's saying sad as well. So we're all listening so well. So we are able to put the correct answers in. So that's great. So now we're going to move on to our quick quid question round. So this is sometime in the session to answer some of your great questions that you have about money. So I'm going to ask the first question, Siobhan, okay? So who would I speak to if I was worried about money?
Okay, well, if you're worried about money, Bronagh, it's a good idea to speak to your parent or guardian. And always remember that banks have specialised members of staff in their branches that can help you talk about your debt.
Very good. And why might money make me feel bad?
Well, sometimes we feel bad if we don't maybe have enough money to pay for something, or if we have had to get into debt to pay for something. So things like that maybe would make you feel bad, or if you've lost money.
And let's go to our families and see if they have any questions to ask us. Let's go to the Mackey family and see.
So Grace just has a general question about the bank. What is it you want to ask, Grace?
What age do you have to be to work in a bank?
Oh, that's a really good question, Grace. Well, Grace, you have to be at least 16 to work in the bank, because to work in the bank, you have to have at least 5 GCSEs, and you have to have your English and your maths GCSE or an equivalent qualification. So you have to be at least 16, and there's no upper age limit. So anybody can come and work for the bank at any age, as long as you're at least 16.
That's a great question. Good girl. And let's go to the Dixon family and see if they have a question.
What is the best way to save your money?
What's the best way to save your money? Oh, that's a really good question as well. So the best way to save your money is to maybe try to put it somewhere out of the way where you don't always see it. So you might remember in some of our other lessons, we talked about maybe putting some of your money in your piggy bank, or giving it to your parent or guardian to look after you, or perhaps even putting it into a savings account with your bank. So that's a really good question.
And very good. And I have another question here, Siobhan, for you. So Abby wants to know, what happens if your money gets stolen? Do you get it back?
If your money gets stolen, you probably won't get it back, unless you really can find out who has stolen it and got it back from them. So it is really important to try to keep our money safe. And I remember back in our last lessons, we talked about putting it into our wallets, or giving it to parent and guardian, or if we have it in bags or coats, to make sure that we have it zipped up.
And I know this is one we've talked about before. What age can you start saving in a bank?
Okay, so a parent or guardian can open a savings account for you as soon as you're born. So the earlier you start saving, the better.
Very good. That's great. So have you any top tips for us today, Siobhan?
Okay, so I've got some top tips today that try to make you to have ideas on how to feel good about money. So forgive yourself if you do make a mistake in regard to your money. Don't compare yourself to others, and praise yourself whenever you make good money choices.
Very good. That's great.
So that's really all our lesson today. So to increase your understanding about money and feelings, why not visit the mymoneysense.com website and have a go at some fun games and quizzes and videos relating to money. And there are even some helpful resources and downloadable articles for parents too.
Very good. That's great. Yes, thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed watching and learned lots about money and all about our different emotions which are related to money today. So thanks to our two families for joining us. Thank you to the Mackey family and to the Dixon family for joining us. It was great to have you both on board.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for all your great answers. You did very well at answering out and learned lots about emotions. So that was great. So in the next 30 minutes, we're going to continue talking about how money can affect our feelings and our emotions and our well-being for children who are in Key Stage 2. So enjoy the rest of this lovely sunny afternoon. And we hope to see you again next week when we'll be back for more Money Sense Monday. Bye.
Okay.
Slow.
Hello and welcome back to MoneySense Mondays. The session today is for young people between the ages of 8 and 12, and we will be exploring how money can affect our feelings, emotions and well-being. My name is Siobhan and I'm Community Banker here at Ulster Bank, and I'm really excited to be welcoming you back for another fun-filled lesson. Just a reminder for those of you who are watching live at home, it would be great if you could leave a comment with your name or the school that you attend, and we'll try to do as many shout outs as possible. So money is something that can cause people to experience lots of different emotions, and it can affect our well-being. Better ways to manage our money is important, as many people can find their feelings towards money challenging. For example, 1 in 5 people in the UK, so that's around 20% of people in the UK, worry about money. So we are running these sessions to try to increase money education to try and prevent young people in the future worrying about money.
That's great, Siobhan. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Bruno Reid and I'm a primary school teacher, and I'm delighted to be joining you today for the MoneySense Mondays. My job today is to help you work through some fun activities to give you a greater understanding of money. So make sure you all comment who's with us. We have lots of people joining in. Karen, hello to you. Barney, hi. Hi to Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. Your teacher's delighted that you're watching today. Hi, Zoe. Hi, Aoife. How are you, Aoife? And Emily from Glasswater Primary School, Crossgar. So it's great. If you write in who's with us, we'll read as many of the comments out as we can. So we're delighted to be also joined by the Mullen family who are with us today. We have Esther and Jack.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Jack. How are you? Do you want to give a shout out to tell everyone what school you go to?
I go to Downpatrick. I want to say hi to all my friends and to my teachers, Mrs. Sherman, Mrs. McCracken, and Mrs. Kagore.
Oh, that's great. You've just done that. I'm sure they'll be delighted to see you here today. Good man. We'll be back with you very soon, won't we? And we also have the Gill family. We have Richard and Ray.
Hi.
How are you?
We're good. Ray, anybody you want to shout out to?
P6 Glasswater Primary School and Ballinhinch Rugby Club.
He's got his rugby shirt on today. So wants to say
very good.
In Ballinhinch.
And we have Emily from Glasswater Primary School as well. I'm sure you know who Emily is, do you, Ray? Yeah, very good. We'll be back with you very soon, okay? So you get all those words ready, won't you? So hi from Zoe, and we've Daniel who's with us, and Grace again from Orangefield Primary School. She's been with us just in the previous session, so good girl. Jamie says hello, Siobhan. So obviously someone who knows Siobhan, our community banker. And Karen Carr is someone here who says, I go to Strandtown Primary School and wants to say hello to everyone. So that's great that you're all here today. We're delighted to have you here. So what you need today is you might need some pens or papers, and we will get started now on our way activities. Okay, so Stephanie Roberts says, oh, what lovely families we have on here today. So that's great. Okay, so we're going to start by thinking about what is an emotion. Okay, so today's lesson is all going to be all about emotions. Okay, so what do you think an emotion is? So how would you best describe what an emotion is? Well, if you were to look up the word emotion in a dictionary, it is described as a feeling which can be caused by the situation that you are in or the people that you are with. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to try and make a list on paper, or if you're watching live, write it in the comments box of as many different types of emotions as you can. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll read out some of those comments that have come in. Okay, so while you're doing that, we'll go to our families first of all, and we'll see what they can tell us about emotions. Okay, so we'll go to the Mullen family first.
Okay, Jack.
There is happy, sad, angry, grumpy, excited, cheerful, worried, and calm.
Very good. Lots of emotions. How do you feel right now, Jack? What's your emotion right now?
Nervous.
Nervous. Well, you wouldn't know it all, so you wouldn't. So good man. Great. And let's go to Richard and Ray and see what they can tell us about emotions.
Yeah, we've got some emojis to describe our emotions today, Bronagh. So want to shout some of them out and show them up?
Angry.
Very good.
Angry. What else have we got?
And shocked.
Can you show us a shocked face? What's your shocked face like? Very good.
This one?
Confused.
I'm confused.
Very good. Very good. And what's your emotion right now, Ray? How are you
Excited.
feeling? You're excited. Well, I'm great. I'm excited to have you here too. So that's brilliant. Good man. So I can see some answers there. Aoife has said happy, sad, and angry. And I know that my Aoife feels happy all the time, don't you, Aoife? So that's great. So different wee emojis coming in as well. So I'm not very good at describing some of the little symbols that are coming in, but I'm sure they're all different types of emotions. That's great. So some examples, and you've said loads already. You've got happy, excited, calm, guilty, nervous, jealous. Lots of different types of emotions. And we all have used these emotions at different times depending on how we're feeling at that time. So let's hear from Siobhan now, who's going to tell us about how money affects our emotions.
Okay, well, sometimes people are worried about money, about how they might not have enough money to pay for everything they need, and they might be unsure of where they're going to be able to find this money, or that they might not have enough money to pay back the money that they owe the bank. But the good news is that banks can help people manage their money. So they allow people to be able to borrow money to pay back their debts, which will help make people feel more happy and content.
That's great. Yes. Okay. So what we want you to do now is we want you to use one of the key words that we're going to give you to write a fictional and made up sentence about money. Okay. And again, share your ideas in the comment section. So the two key words that we're giving you are excited and worried. So you can see them on the screen, and you can even see the wee emojis, how you might feel if you were excited and how you would be worried. Okay, so we want you to write up a fictional sentence about money. So a sentence how you might feel excited to do with something with money, or worried, or do you know what? How about you could even use both the words in a sentence? So I'm going to start by giving an example. So I know I would feel excited when I get extra money for my birthday and I'm able to treat myself to something really nice. So Siobhan, have you got an example?
Yes, well, sometimes I feel worried whenever I think I have lost money and can't remember where I've left it.
That's great. And let's go. While everyone's writing their wee comments in, we'll be able to read them out. But while you're doing that, let's go to the Mullen family and see if they can give us a word, a sentence for excited or worried.
I feel excited to give my sister her birthday present, but I am worried she won't like it.
Oh, that's very good. Good. And I'm sure she will be really excited to have it. That's lovely. Good man. Okay. So, and let's see how Rafe, if he can give us a sentence.
I feel excited about getting a new Nintendo Switch game and worried that I won't have enough money to buy it.
Oh, I'm sure your daddy. I'm sure even if you did some extra jobs around the house, you would always get money to buy it, wouldn't you? That's great. Good boy. Great. And some sentences coming in here. Sweetie says, I feel excited when I get money. Barney's on to say a big shout out to all the staff and pupils at Bronagh Reid Primary School in Limavady. And Grace is excited to spend birthday money. So that's great. So the way people feel is not fixed. So if you experience one emotion at a certain point, it is important to remember that you're not always going to feel like that forever. So changing feelings and learning how to manage them is all linked to our well-being. And I'm sure this is a word that you've all heard in primary school. I know we do lots of different things based on our well-being. So what do you think well-being means, and what words do you associate with good well-being? Okay, so if you write them in the comment section. So we're talking about well-being. So what does well-being mean, and what words do you associate with good well-being? So if you write them in, we'll be able to read your comments out. And while you're doing that, we'll go to the Mullen family first and see what they think about the word well-being.
Okay, we think well-being really means feeling good and feeling happy.
That's great. Very good. Yeah. Okay. And let's go to our other family and see. And let's go to our other family. Yes, Richard and Ray, and see what they think.
So we've been talking about well-being all to do with rugby. So what have we come up with? Right?
Fit and healthy and feeling confident.
So when you're fit and healthy, what does that mean when you're doing rugby?
Running and tackling.
That's a running, tackling. And how does feeling confident? How do you feel confident playing rugby?
I got great players in my team.
Very good. And are you going to win, are you?
Yep.
Hopefully, yes. Very good. Good man. That's great. Okay, Siobhan, do you want to give us a definition?
Yes, and I have to say the boys came up with really good answers there. So the definition of well-being is simply feeling good and functioning well.
Yes, we have some answers in. Karen says feeling good and happy. Barney says feeling happy and content. And Aoife says feeling confident. So that's great. Well done. Okay, so moving on. Sometimes people spend more money than they have, and they end up owing someone else money, like a bank. And this is known as debt. And it can really affect how a person feels, and it affects their well-being. So we want you to create a heart, a hand, and hands, a diagram for a person who is in debt. So we want you to think about how their heart would feel, how their hand would feel, and how their head would feel. So words associated with it. So you can do this on paper, or if you're watching live, you might want to leave a little comment in the box about how each one, words associated to each one. Okay, so let's think of our heart. Okay, so draw a picture of a heart and write words around it with ideas on how a person would feel if they were in debt. So an example might be, they might feel scared. Okay, so while you're putting your words down for the word heart, let's go to the Gill family and see what they think.
Right, so Ray, what words did you come up with?
Anxious and upset.
Very good, yes. And why do you think someone would feel them?
Why would they feel anxious about being in debt?
Because they might not have the money to give.
Yeah, good man. Well done. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a wee minute. Okay, so words associated. So you write in words of how your heart might be feeling if you were in debt. Okay, and the next word, number 2 word, is your head. Okay, so if you're thinking of your head, you're thinking of your brain, aren't you? There's a picture of a brain, a thought cloud. So what words associated with debt might you be thinking in your head? So you might feel a wee bit silly would be an example, wouldn't it? For getting yourself into that kind of situation, okay? So while you're writing your words down, let's go to the Mullen family and see if they can come up with any words of how your head or brain would feel.
Sad, anxious, worried, guilty, silly,
Frustrated,
and wondering.
No, that's a great picture of a brain there as well. And why do you think you would feel those emotions? Why do you think your head would feel like them?
why do you think they'd feel like that? Because you borrowed money and you maybe can't pay it back, or you don't know how to pay it back.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Yeah. Okay, good man. So I can see some answers coming in for the first one, the heart. You would feel nervous. There's some words coming in. Charlotte McCabe is saying scared. Eve is saying scared. Yeah, you might feel sad as well. So that's great. Okay, so the next one, number 3, was a picture of your hand. Okay, so it was a heart, a head, and a hand. So next one is a picture of your hand. Okay, and write down words associated with how you might feel if you were in debt, words or actions that you might feel. For example, a hand, you might be wanting to reach out for help, mightn't you? Okay, so just to see what help is available to help you, because there is always help available. Okay, so let's go to the Gill family and see what they can tell us about the hand.
Okay, so what have we got in terms of some actions for us to do with debt?
You could save up or talk to the bank.
Very good. Yeah. Save up to be able to pay it back. I'm sure there's always people in the bank who can help. So that's great. Brilliant. Okay. So you can see some other answers coming through. So 1, your heart would feel sad, your head anxious, confused as well. Okay. So Siobhan, do you want to explain?
Yes. And everybody's been doing so well at home, and that's great. So with our heart, so people might feel scared, frustrated, annoyed, upset, or maybe even optimistic that they know they're going to be able to pay it back, or hopeful or guilty. So lots of different emotions. Then for our head, so people might feel silly for getting into debt, or they might feel that they had no other choice to get into debt, or that it's not their fault that they don't have enough money to pay for those kinds of things. And then the hand, so that's the actions that you might take. So creating a plan to pay back the money, speaking to the bank for advice, contacting a friend or family member for emotional support, even going online and doing some research to get some information. So great suggestions from everyone.
That's great. And some other answers coming in with Barney says his head would feel mixed up, confused as to what to do and who to turn with. And Aoife saying anxious. And there's Karen saying for save up and ask a friend for help as well. And Aoife's also saying to ask someone for help. So that's great. Lots of great ideas there. So well done. And you can keep this going. If you're at home, you can be drawing those pictures out and adding those words just to stick up and remind yourself all the time that you can ask for the help. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try a little quiz to see what you've learned today. So you can write your answers down on paper or put them in the comments section, and we'll go through a question one at a time and we will read out some of your answers. And I know you're going to get them all correct because you've listened so well. So that's brilliant. Okay, so you'll see the questions coming up on the screen. So how money affects our feelings quiz. Okay, so question number 1. What is an emotion? Okay, so we want you to answer what is an emotion. Okay, so we've talked lots about what our emotions is and different types of emotions. And while you're doing that, we'll go to the Gill family and hear their answer first.
An emotion is how we feel caused by something that happens.
And can you tell me some of those emotions again?
Sad, happy, embarrassed, confused.
Very good. There's lots of different emotions there, isn't there? Good man, that's great. And we can see lots of answers coming in. It's a feeling, isn't it? Emotion is a feeling, is what everyone is saying. Aren't they right, Siobhan?
Yes, that's correct. Well done, Ray.
Very good. So it's great. So question number 2. Okay, question number 2. What does well-being mean to you? Okay, so what does the word well-being mean to you? Okay, and we'll go to the Mullen family who can answer this question. So what does well-being mean to you?
Feeling good and happy and content.
Feeling good, happy and content. So that's great. So, and I can see lots of other people are saying those same answers as well. So yeah, Siobhan, aren't they correct?
Yep, that's correct. It's just about feeling good and functioning well.
Yeah, all the good answers coming in. It's all about feeling good and how to know how to be good. Yeah, feeling good, says Eve as well. So that's great. Question number 3. Okay, so how might debt impact someone's feelings? Okay, so question 3, how might debt impact someone's feelings? Okay, so put your answers in for question number 3. How might debt impact someone's feelings? And we'll go to Richard and Ray, who can tell us what they think their answer is for that one.
So how does debt affect our feelings? Maybe that one.
Debt could make you feel happy because you could get what you needed without saving up.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it too. Very good. Have you anything that you'd like to save up for?
A mountain bike.
Oh, very good. That's great. Very good. Yeah. And how else do you think debt could it impact anyone else in a different way? Do you think?
Anxious or upset.
Yeah, brilliant. Good man. That's great. Okay, so I can see other answers coming in there. It can make people feel happy and good, but it can impact someone's feelings as well to make them feel afraid and nervous of how they're going to change. Or sorry, someone's just writing in, change your normal behaviour. Okay, so yes. So how might debt impact someone's feelings? So Siobhan, we're all good with that one?
Yep, all good answers. I think Ray answered it perfect for us.
Very good. Yep. Okay. So and question number 4. Okay, what actions could someone take who is in debt? Okay, so what actions could someone take who is in debt? So again, if you put your answers in, we'll read some of them out. And while you're doing that, let's go to the Mullen family and see what they think.
If you're in debt, speak to the family, bank, or friends, or family nearby.
No, family member.
Family member.
Very good. Yeah, because there's always lots of different people you can talk to, isn't there? So very good. Anything to add, Siobhan?
No, I think Jack has done it right. Speak to your bank, your family, friends, or you can even go online to find some further support.
Yeah,
well
very
done,
good.
Jack.
Yeah, some other ones coming in there. So Karen, ask a friend, ask the bank, or Aoife, speak to a friend as well. So very good. Great. Okay, so we've done really well there at our quiz. So now we're on to our quick question round. So this is sometime in the session if you want to ask any great questions about money and relating to what we've talked about today, relating to money and emotions. Okay, so I'm going to ask the first question, Siobhan. Is it bad to be in debt?
Okay, so this is the section where my emotion be nervous because I never know what the questions are going to be. So no, it's not bad to be in debt because lots of people are in debt because being in debt allows us to pay for things that we normally couldn't afford. So for example, like our house, so we pay mortgage or rent on our house. So it's not bad to be in debt, and we should, whenever we're in debt, always try to make sure that we can afford to pay back whatever we have agreed to pay back our debt so that we don't feel anxious or worried about having to pay it back.
That's great. You answered that very well, Siobhan. So, and I'm going to ask another one. So how do banks help people feel good about money?
Well, banks are there to help people with all aspects of their banking. So they can help you with your borrowing needs or your saving needs, or even how you do your normal day-to-day, everyday banking. So that's what we're there for.
And here's a good question. And I really want to know the answer to this question. This is from Karen. What is a good way to get rich?
A good way to get rich? Well, I still haven't fully figured that out. Bruno. What I would say to people is to work hard at school. So whether you're at school or you're homeschooling now with your parent or guardian, to work hard at school and learn everything you can. And then whenever you do work, try to save some of your money and not to spend it all.
And Aoife wants to know, how would it feel to have no money?
Well, I think you would feel sad if you had no money, because you wouldn't be able to pay for things that you need or things that you maybe want.
Right, well, we go to our families and see if they got any questions. So let's go to the Mullen family first and see, have they a question?
Don't you get annoyed when people ask you to borrow money?
Could you just say that again, Jack?
Don't you get annoyed when people ask you to borrow money?
Oh no, we never get annoyed when people ask us, can they pay money, Jack? Because lots of people have to borrow money for lots of everyday things. So if someone buys a house, most people take a mortgage out to pay for their house. And when people change their cars as well, lots of people have to borrow to be able to pay for the car, and then they can pay it back. And that's our job. Our job is there to help people get those financial goals and plans.
Very good. And before we go to our next one, here's a question Charlotte wants to ask Siobhan. What would happen if there was no banks?
If there was no banks, it would be very hard to know where to put your money. So you might lose your money. It might be very hard for you to borrow. And then what would you do whenever you empty your piggy bank and you want to fill that up? So I think it would be very sad if we didn't have any banks.
Yeah. And let's go to Richard and Ray and see if they got a great question now for you, Siobhan.
Why does Northern Ireland have their own banknotes?
Oh, that is a really, really, really good question, Ray. And I see, what are you holding up there, Richard?
That's the Ulster Bank.
You're holding up.
The Ulster Bank tenner.
So you're holding up.
With a good ploughman on it too.
So you're holding up our Ulster Bank £10 note. So, Ray, you might have remembered in our previous sessions that I told you that Bank of England produced banknotes for England and Wales, and the 7 banks in Northern Ireland and Scotland produced their own. So traditionally, printing of banknotes was considered to be the norm centuries ago, as most UK banks produced their own. However, not all banks behave responsibly, and were not able to back this up with actual assets. So the law changed in the 1840s in England and Wales. So production of all banknotes moved to the Bank of England for all of UK bar Scotland, who argued for an exception because they didn't have the same issues. And then the Banknotes Act of 1928 allowed banks in Northern Ireland to produce their own notes. And this has now become part of their cultural identity. And it usually features local landmarks and historical figures, such as the Ulster Bank £5 note, which features Strangford Lough, and that £10 note that your dad has in his hand, that features Lough Erne. And banks might also see this as a bit of a marketing tool as well, because customers, whenever you have that £10 note or that £20 note in your hand and it says Ulster Bank on it, well, you're constantly seeing the name of your bank as well. So maybe just a wee bit of marketing in there too. That's a fabulous question.
You explained it so well, Siobhan. Didn't she, Ray? Did she do a good job?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So any top tips today, Siobhan?
Yes, so I've got some top tips today from the health charity Mind. So it's a few top tips. So making sure that you do talk through with someone you trust, get organised, look after yourself, and don't be afraid to seek further support. So again, Bruno, that's the end of another lesson. So thank you everybody for joining us here today, and we really hope you enjoyed it. And remember, you can always log on to the mymoneysense.com website to learn more at home. And why not have a go at the interactive game Money and Mood to help you learn more about this topic. So the MoneySense website includes lots of fun games, videos, and even articles for parents too.
That's great. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been great to have you all on board and see all your great comments and answers, great answers coming through. We hope to see you next MoneySense Mondays. We'll be back next Monday, where we're going to be talking about going shopping for 5 to 8 year olds and money around the world for 8 to 12 year olds. Thank you to our 2 families who joined us today. They answered great, so they did. So Esther and Jack and Richard and Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done. Great, great. And we will see you again. So everyone, out you go and enjoy the rest of that beautiful sunshine, and we'll hopefully see you again next Monday. Thank you.